The June 3rd, 2023 meeting of the Bay City City Commission will come to order. The clerk will give the invocation, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Dockett.
Here.
Rivet.
Yes.
Bernie.
Yes.
Brunner.
Here.
Hilliker.
Here.
Gerard.
Here.
Clements.
Here.
Morris.
He's walking in the door right now.
All right. And Madam Mayor.
Present.
All present.
We have a quorum. The next item is a presentation, and who's going to do that? Okay. And it's for Bay Future, and Jim?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Ream. I'm glad to be here representing Bay Future. You have to excuse me a little bit. I'm hoarse. I was at the hockey game last night, so still recovering. I'd like to say thank you to the city manager for inviting me here tonight, and a heartfelt thank you to the city commission for the support for Bay Future. None of what we do is possible without the support of the city of Bay City and all the wonderful staff here at the hall. We have a video queued up to show you that was played at our annual meeting just a few months ago. Where's the mouse? Thank you, Allison.
This is a place of why not? Why can't it happen here? We have the right talent, we have the right people, we have the right universities. It's all sitting here waiting for us to just capture and harness.
Tri-City Brewing has been in business for 17 years. All the craft beer here, we make ourselves in this building. We are Bay City's hometown brewery. We really saw an opportunity to expand our seating area and make it available for private events. You come in here, you have 2 rooms that can accommodate about 80 people, and the really unique thing is you could bring in your own food, or you can arrange for catering from us. It's really a nice way for you to celebrate a special event here at a reasonable cost.
And this is exactly where Bay Future works with other organizations when you look at the Bangor DDA.
This is Bangor DDA territory, and they provide us with a really nice grant that really helped us with the garage doors. I mean, we can't navigate that on our own as business owners, but to have that support, to lift that off our shoulders, it allows me to focus on my business.
Business owners are good at running their business. A lot of times the other things taking up too much time, and it keeps us from growing. Bay Future allows you that growth.
You've got your work, you've got your home, and then you've got that third place, fits with you. It's part of the community, and you just enjoy being here. Tri-City Brewing, your destination private event space.
When you start to look at the tentacles of just townships, when you get out into Monitor Township or you get out into Bangor Township, all of those places have seen or they have felt Bay Future in their backyard.
When it comes to economic development, we reach out to Bay Future, and they are our economic development department, and they allow us to do fabulous things and see great growth and bring in companies that we probably wouldn't have that opportunity otherwise.
The NH started in 1996, the fall of 96.
Started as a custom thermoformer, has expanded into recycling,
extrusion. Right behind us is injection molding. That's the last addition that kind of came with this building.
One of the things that's amazing with this is using the state-of-the-art technology with this group. And what they are doing, it's simply amazing.
We do a lot of amazing things here. Unique, innovative things that we're the only ones in the world that do.
We do about 1 million plastic kiddie pools every year. We do our own line of hunting blinds, quite a few different thermoform products, including automotive dunnage and packaging. We were starting to fill the current business. The building was getting full. While we were looking, I saw this building.
So we took an old building that hasn't been anything but vacant and ugly for a long, long time, and this is now going to be more Vantage Plastics, employing a lot of people, creating a fabulous tax base, and doing a lot of great things. This is where their growth is going to happen. And it's right here in beautiful Bangor Township.
Support from the township, from Bay Future, MEDC, all of these local entities has been just really fantastic. I'm not even sure if this would have happened without Bay Future's involvement. I mean, they were instrumental in driving this and pulling all of the different pieces back together.
A lot of what they helped with was the incentive package, navigating the tax breaks. They helped get us training money because we have all new people.
We're up to 430 employees, I think, as of last week, and we're going to need more. Our mission is forming solutions, forming better lives, forming sustainable futures. What new innovative approach can we come up with to get something done or to bring something new into the community? And I think Bay Future, that's their approach to things.
This is another great example of opportunity within our community and working with Bay Future. Bay Carbon, they have added on to their facilities. They have had so much demand come back to them that they came to Bay Future and asked, where can we build out? Where do we have it? And when they came to us, we said, hey, there is an opportunity to go to MEDC and go to some of these other places to find funding and find land that is ready for you to do that. You go over on the west side where you have a building that was a medical building for years, not really being utilized within that community. And then you take a revitalization such as that and you bring back affordable space for small entrepreneurs to use. You bring back little eateries, you bring back an environment that is more vibrant in there. It actually impacts that corner that it sits on, which is right across the street from our beautiful library. So it's perfect for that setting.
We get to see a finished product and we get excited and we cut ribbons and we jump up and down and we raise a toast. We don't see all of the countless hours that went into making that possible.
Your investment dollars and sponsorship into Bay Future helps make that happen. Be a marketer of ours. Go out there and tell the story. Tell other people who are looking to invest or ask about why would you invest in Bay Future. Take them around your plant that you built because the land was ready for you. Take a drive down US 10 and show 2 big places that are because of what this organization provides. And when those people can get out and tell their stories, the stories make such a positive impact to other investors and other people who want to be in the community.
So just a brief video, a little taste of kind of what's been going on. And I would look to have a more formal presentation in the coming months for the commission.
Thank you. Are there any questions, commissioners? Commissioner Gerard?
No question, just appreciation for Jim coming here today. I asked to have this video shown to the commission a few months ago, so I appreciate being here and definitely sitting on the board, you know, hearing what the projects are happening and what's going on. I'm excited to see what's going to continue to happen and appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you very much. The next order of business is the adoption of the agenda. Do any members of the commission wish to add any item to the agenda? Commissioner Burney? What would you like?
Yes.
What would you like to add?
A resolution.
Can you give us a brief synopsis?
Yes. It's about Bay Metropolitan Transportation has serviced Bay City patrons. Would you like me to read the full resolution?
Yes. Sorry.
All right. This resolution, whereas Bay Metropolitan Transportation has serviced Bay City patrons since July 1974. Whereas a large majority of low-income people utilize these services daily, many for doctor appointments, quite often for dialysis, or oncology services, special needs, and mentally challenged schools. These are offered in Bay City. Other than traveling outside of town, these services are here in town. Whereas DART, Dial a Ride, ADA certified services, also at Bay Metro Transportation, offer at a fixed rate services for disabled low-income citizens pick up from their homes by appointment. Whereas Bay Metropolitan Transportation Services has had to reroute by not using the Liberty Bridge and soon the Independence Bridge due to tolling costs from the BCBP of $250,000 to $300,000 a year, which doesn't leave them much revenue for the year, which the company cannot afford. Whereas August 2024, the Lafayette Bridge will be closing for 3 years. People who rely on this transportation will have limited time to make it to doctor appointments, dialysis, oncology, having these procedures done, and having to wait in traffic. It could be detrimental to some of these patients' health and safety. Our job description, commissioners as a whole, is committed to adhere to overall health and welfare and safety of the people of Bay City, Michigan. Be it resolved, Bay Metro Transportation be exempt from tolling fees on the Liberty Bridge and the Independence Bridge. Be it furthermore resolved, BCBP set this in place for the low-income disabled citizens immediately. Approve June 3rd, 2024.
The clerk has noticed that you didn't read everything that is on.
But there were some paragraphs that were not in the printed one that I have.
It's
Commissioner Dockett?
It was the same for me. There was one word that got skipped, but it reads the same without.
Then I may have a different version because what I have is quite different than from what you read.
May I approach, please?
And you want that on the regular agenda, right?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt the agenda as amended? Commissioner Brunner,
Move to adopt the agenda as amended.
is there a second? Commissioner Morris,
Second.
will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the agenda?
Commissioner Dockett,
Yes.
Rivet,
Yes.
Bernie,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Hilliker,
Yes.
Sherrard,
Yes.
Clements,
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
8 yes.
The agenda has been adopted. The next order of business is the consent agenda. Do any members of the commission wish to make a change to the consent agenda?
Yes.
Commissioner Burney, what would you like to change?
Number 10, the resolutions, and number 13, commission as a whole resolution. Number 13, I'd like them pulled, please.
Okay, they will be on the regular agenda. Anyone else? Commissioner Hilliker?
Number 5, requesting permission to hold River Rock Fest.
Okay, that'll be on the regular agenda. Commissioner Clements?
Reports of officers, number 7, please. The MOU with Bay City Schools and the Bay City Police Department. for Public Safety Department.
Commissioner Ribbit?
Item 9, manager recommend adoption of city commission goals.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 13 will be on the regular agenda this evening. Oh, I'm sorry. I added an extra numeral. It's 5, 7, 9, 10, 13. All righty, next order of business, cause for public input on the consent agenda. This is the opportunity for citizens to remove an item from the consent agenda for consideration on the regular agenda. If anyone in the audience wishes to have an item removed, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and the item you wish to have on the regular agenda. Seeing no one come forth, is there a motion on the consent agenda? Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. Move to approve.
Is there a second? Commissioner Brunner?
Second.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to approve?
Commissioner Rivet?
Yes.
Bernie?
Yes.
Brunner?
Yes.
Hilliker?
Yes.
Gerard?
Yes.
Clements?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Dockett?
Yes.
8 yes.
It's approved. The next order of business is remarks of the mayor and the commission. And I just have a couple of things. I think all the commissioners have been contacted by United Bridge Partners just to talk about what we feel the issues may be. So I had my meeting last Thursday, and we talked about, and this commission has talked about the lease agreement, and could we have our attorneys that worked on it come and meet with us. So the more we talked, and it was probably a half an hour if it was that long, 99% of the commitments that United Bridge Partners made have been reached. They're good ambassadors. There's no actions, no resolutions. UBP rights and privileges according to the lease have been met. They agreed to cooperate and support the partnership. I know that I think all of us have gotten a lot of emails or phone calls regarding getting a bill that was sent out improperly. And if you would go down to the office at 300 Center, they will take care of that as long as you're a city resident. I've had a lot of out-of-town people contact me, and they've been addressed very quickly. And I know it's not what everyone wants to have to do. You know, people are planning their days by avoiding Liberty, and that'll happen when Independence is opened as a toll bridge. But I guess the biggest thing is we signed an agreement. I signed probably 150 pieces of the lease with United Bridge Partners, with our attorney present that day in the clerk's office. This commission, except Commissioner Bernie, you weren't on, or Commissioner Rivet, I don't think you were on, when it was approved. So I have to go along with the approval of this commission. And I just wanted to let you know that I had a great conversation. I spoke with Anthony. I don't know if Anthony's here tonight. No, he's not here. Okay. But I just want to let you all know that we are following everything that we agreed upon. We're not trying to do anything different from the agreement. Our hands were tied. We were able to get support from United Bridge Partners. So I just wanted to let you know there's, you can ask a lot of questions when they contact you. They try to keep it to about 20 minutes to a half an hour. But, you know, you need to find out exactly what is in the agreement before we decide to tear it apart and have our attorneys here, and it was about a two-year process to get the agreement that we have currently. And I just wanted to share that with you all. So, and that's all that I have to say tonight. Do any commissioners have a comment? Commissioner Burney?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. First of all, I put a resolution in, I think 2 weeks ago or whatever, and commission put it on the back burner. They wanted to look over it or pause it or whatever. I'm not into pausing it. The point of the matter is, what I'm asking for the people, and I'm going to ask again, I want the same attorneys that wrote those agreements in the contract. It is it's a Freedom Act of information. The public deserves to see those contracts and those agreements and to have those attorneys back in here. I don't know what is, what people aren't understanding here is that there is a possible breach of contract. Now, when I look it over, I see it says from the beginning, low-income people do not have to pay tolls to cross that bridge. Now, when we come to that, United States Census says Bay City has 25% poverty level. Poverty level. These people are getting invoices. They're paying tolls. That's a breach right there. Then we have the credit card. I just want, what I want, I don't want the bridges to close. I want those contracts and agreements to come in here, and I want a new, this is a breach to me and to the people. I want the people to be able to be here, to talk this out, come to a conclusion, what can we do to change this? Because whatever it is, it's just not working. And the people deserve to sit down and see what happened with this situation. So there needs to be a change here, and as far as I'm concerned, it is a breach of contract. I didn't know anything. I'm sure the people didn't know they were going to have to give their private information out, credit cards, debit cards, numbers. I don't think that they knew that. And I read in the newspaper there was an attorney that stated he was suing United Bridges for $4. And I don't know if he thought that was a joke. It was not a joke to me or to a lot of low-income people, because that $4, it is a big thing to people that are getting food stamps. Because I've been there. So when you're at a grocery store and they're taking this $4 off your card because you owe for crossing the bridge and you possibly did not, and you're at a grocery store and you have a food stamp card, and you owe $4 more for a loaf of bread for your family. So you say, well, I think I got $3 on that debit card. I can just take that out of my pocket and put that in together, and I'll be able to get my kids the rest of these groceries. And they put their debit card in, and United Bridges has taken that last $4 off. I'm not with that. That doesn't set good with me, and I don't think whoever you are, attorney, that was not funny to me, because I've been there, and that's not funny to me, because $4 means a lot to people, a lot to children. It means a lot. So I think we need to get together on this, Mr. Villigan, and you're a really nice man, and I know that you're trying really hard. So all of us need to sit down, get together, and look over this contract. Let's try to work it out. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. I'll save my bridge remarks for later. Seventh Ward Commissioner appointment, do we have a deadline on submitting those applications so we can get rolling on the interview process?
I think Allison's looking it up. Is it 20? I can't. What'd you say?
The 14th, I think.
So we will have those, then we can put packets together right after that, and then you can schedule them. We did them last time on an off night, if I remember right, didn't we?
Okay. Yeah, I think we did. It depends on how many we have, I
Yeah.
guess. If we have 2 regular meetings,
Right,
but
right.
if we have 20, it's a different animal. Okay, that was all. Thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioner Gerard?
Yeah, real briefly, getting some questions on the Johnson Street, the bike lanes that was put in. Just want to verify, so that project was happening, we striped it for the bike lanes, though there wasn't any additional, the plan was to do that cape sealing all along, it's just, there wasn't a necessary additional cost for the cape sealing, it's just the striping was striped for the bike lanes.
To stripe bike lanes is very, very minimal. I mean, probably $600. Very small amount to do bike lanes.
Okay, so, because there were some thoughts out there, some folks had made some comments that it was, the whole project was specific to the bike lanes, and it wasn't. It was just we added the bike lanes as per the...
Per the resolution that the commission adopted, that when we're redoing streets, we're addressing the bike lanes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Commissioner Brunner?
Thank you very much. First of all, the bike lane setup on Johnson is very nice. Thank you very much to everyone involved in that. I generally ride that almost twice a day now. Next, through the chair to the city manager, the residents that are around Hewitt Park want me to ask, when will all of the grass clippings be cleaned up? It's still looking a little rough over there.
Since we had the last conversation, it's still like that?
Since we had the last conversation, it's still like that, yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll address it.
All right, thank you very much. And actually, that's all I have. I can save the rest of my comments for later. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? The next order of business is comments from the manager. Do you have any information to give to us tonight?
Yep, I have just a couple things. One of the ARPA projects that the City Commission funded was the trickling filters at the wastewater treatment plant. That has started, that project. Couple things that are happening this week. We have the Riverside Art Festival is this weekend, and also Commissioner Clements, the Bass College High School tournaments. They are in town, so that'll be going through Sunday, so that's exciting. And then also, we have construction starting on June 21st on McKinley. So this is fill and overlay. We'll have sidewalk replacements and curb repairs done too. And that's it.
Thank you. The next order of business calls for public input. Under the rules of the City Commission, each speaker has 5 minutes to speak. And this is the opportunity for anyone to come up and speak on any item, even on an agenda item. So please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you will have 5 minutes, and Commissioner Clements is the timekeeper.
Terry Velligan, 300 Center Avenue. I want to start out by saying thank you for your attention. One, I want to reinforce in reference to Bay City residents. Bay City residents are free with account transponders and no credit card required. So this falls under the guidelines of all the residents who are impoverished or under guidelines. All Bay City residents are free with a transponder. So I just want to reinforce that so everybody understands. If we all have learned one thing over the past month or months, is since pay-by-mail invoices went out, It's that many people in the community did not understand the importance of having a BC Pass account and transponder sticker. We understand there's a lot of information, a major change here in Bay City and Michigan, and we remain here to help. We have plenty of avenues for customers to come see us, call us on a phone, use our website, portals, so on and so forth. Many people in the area are now highly motivated to better understand how electronic tolling works and to take action to ensure they get their resident discount or the lowest possible rates. This definitely caused overwhelming demand for assistance with opening and managing accounts, which during the rollout of billing presented unforeseen challenges that we have been addressing. We hear the concerns from the community and the commissioners and the administration. We know tolling will never be preferable to free, but reliable and operational bridges are better than closed bridges. Tolling is Bay City's reality. It would be a mistake to postpone that reality any longer. Instead, we acknowledge our customer service challenges and are committed to continuous improvement in that area. So that's where we are focusing our efforts, working one-on-one with customers to address concerns, answering questions, offering grace by waiving or reducing fees, and by quickly dismissing any license plate misreads or any other automation errors. To give everyone ample time to connect with us, we are suspending late fees and third-party collections through the summer, with dates coming in the next couple of weeks, while we continue to engage with our customers by phone or email or in person or through our dispute process. In addition, we have added staff and introduced a callback feature at our 855-648-4330 call center. Staff at our 300 Center Avenue Walk-In Center report steady traffic but no long lines or excessive wait times. We want to ensure the community again. We are not in the business of holding customers responsible for charges they did not incur. We remain willing to waive fees customers have incurred if they create an account and pay their reduced balance. We are here to help customers with any unresolved questions or concerns. We value your time and your trust. We offer answers to commonly asked questions at baycitybridgepartners.com, where customers can also find our terms and conditions, our toll rates, late fees, escalation process details, and poverty exemption guidelines. As always, we encourage you to set up your BC Pass account and get your transponder sticker online, in person, or by phone. And I close with saying thank you again. If you have any questions, concerns, I've provided my phone number, I provided my email, I provided our address. I'm here as transparency to answer any and all your questions. So thank you.
Thank you. You can come up to the podium, ma'am. There's a sheet of paper. Just sign your name and address and say it out loud, please, and you'll have 5 minutes.
Oh, I got this. I'm Nancy Dobson, and I live on the west side. And I frequently like to take the Liberty Bridge, and I appreciate all your comments to clarify. But from experience...
Nancy, what is your address?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am at 700 North Winona.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Maybe there's still a few glitches. What I'm wondering is, since March, I do have the transponder sticker in my windshield. I had been out of town for almost a year taking care of my mother in the northern Detroit area and coming back and forth every 2 weeks. And sadly, she passed away in January, and dealing with that, though we have all had the situation of dealing with an elderly parent, and God rest her soul. But back to the bridge. So March, I made sure I had the transponder on, but I've had to go back 3 times, and they're very nice clerks at the office, and they said, put it in the windshield where it does not obstruct your vision. So I put it in the upper right corner. But I still did get some notices that I owed something. Well, I was in there for the 3rd time about 2 weeks ago, and she said, you'll be fine, and you shouldn't be getting any more notices. The transponders are working. Well, I get this on Friday for $97.50, because I thought I was in the clear. You know, the nice clerk said, you're good to go, the transponders are working. My question is this is just a possibility. I've got that little transponder sticker, which is what, about 3 inches by 1 inch, but it's in the upper right corner. When you're going through the bridge, to the bridge, perhaps is that kind of an out-of-the-way place for it to be? But it does say on the instructions, if you're to remove it, it tears. What I'm driving at is, what if I could perhaps try this, take that little transponder sticker off, put it in the upper middle of the windshield, but kind of behind the rearview mirror so it doesn't restrict my vision. And perhaps that could do it. And I'm just trying to offer a solution, But the only other thing I can think of is it may be a mechanical thing, but as we know, anything that's a machine made by man, it can have some glitches, and it can be fixed. So there's that. So I'm just offering that as a possible solution. If I could, if it's okay if I try that, if I go to the office and reposition that. And another little comment, when I asked the nice clerk, said, I also got a text saying, if I pay late, there's a $50 fee. It was from Michigan Toll. Aha. She said, Michigan Toll is a scam. Ignore them. Any communication from Bay City Bridge Partners will say Bay City Bridge Partners. So beware of scams. Unfortunately, those vultures are out there. But I'm just offering this as a possible solution. We're all, trying to deal with the fact, it is a low middle class, impoverished people and retirees such as myself. And I'm just offering a possibility of offer a solution to a problem. So thank you very much, and thank you.
Thank you. And if you want to wait after the meeting, I'm sure that one of the members will talk to you from United Bridge Partners and get it straightened around.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Yes, my name is David Blankenship, 109 East Hart Street, Bay City, Michigan. I'd like to take time to thank the mayor for her decades and decades of service to the Bay City, the city manager for taking the job and saving us the cost of a nationwide search. Good evening, Mayor, Councilman Morris. It has been reported to me over the weekend that I've had family members with $2,400 for passing the bridge, taking children to school. And I'm not sure, but I think it's going to get more. It's going to cost more because I understand now they have armed security guards underneath the Liberty Bridge for the replacement population, or however they call that. It just seems like there's a lot more people that are driving recklessly around the area in our neighborhood. Also, I don't know if they're licensed or not. But that's what I'd just like to thank you for doing what you've done for so long. And to let you know that there's people are talking to me about what they're seeing, and I really don't want to be there to try to answer their questions, but I want to make you aware that the bridge thing is kind of weird. They are also tacking on the late fee a little earlier than they should, if it's paid up front in full up front, and then they still get a notice for a late fee. So I don't know if there's some clerical problems there. I guess that'd be it. I think the bridge is going to go the same way as the property they tried to develop behind the credit union on Euclid with the Sterling Corporation, and how they never bought a building permit, never bought the property, but sued the city for, I think it was $2 million, I might be mistaken on that. And you've been taking money out of my taxes for, I guess it'd be 24 years now on that particular project. I'd ask the council members to all think about what a comprehensive annual audit would be and how far back you can get these audit reports. And I think that would shine some light to the public who maybe not are involved as they should be, or have been involved as they should be. And have a blessed day.
Sir, if you want to stay also after, and you can speak with United Bridge Partners folks who are here about the billing and see what the problem is, you can do that also. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to.
I personally don't. I will stay and speak with my city commissioner.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Forrest Robinson. I live at 1210 Hines Street in the South End. And I'm here to speak tonight about I'm asking for the City Commission to take a look at 2024-2025 annual plan budget for expenditure of community development block grants and home programs. Under the section listing housing and infrastructure activities, there is listed a $1,248,272 expenditure for rental housing development, along with an allocation of $761,676 for rental housing development ARP funds. I'm asking the city commissioners to reduce the $1,249,272 amount by $1 million and really allocate the $1 million for fixing 3rd Street, which is in a low to moderate income area and benefits area citizens. That would leave $248,272 plus the ARP funds for rental housing development. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Alex DeWitt, 1309 South Erie. I got 3 little things to talk about tonight. First, as many other people have already brought up about the bridges, my anecdotal experience is my brother-in-law, who lives in Monitor Township, drives a blue Chevy Equinox. He got a bill auto-read from them with a Jeep Compass that was black on it, and the picture for the license plate was missing on the mailer. And he works in Midland, full-time as a pharmacist. He was not able to get there for weeks because of their hours. And because it was a misread, when he called them, they said they couldn't help him at the time. And that was a month and a half ago. But the timing of all that, and the fact that, we're hearing all these issues from individuals now, it's been a year as of last week since United Bridge Partners posted at 5:01 p.m. on a Friday that tolling starts in 3 weeks, good luck, and then we were gone for the weekend. So we're coming up the 1-year anniversary of that. The fact they're delaying now the collections for 3 months, which is great for us here, but the lack of organization and follow-through and completion of original deadlines shows just what I was saying back in 2017, 2018 when they were here about the bridge in Virginia having the same problems. And I think it's unfortunate that we have to deal with the same problems that bridge did, because we bought that they would be able to learn from their mistakes. They did not learn from their mistakes. They're on their second full manager since they started tolls, And they've had to change scope of projects for independence, and it's just like, why? Why can't we get competency from the things we agreed to? Second thing is, last week, I was talking to someone who lives not in my ward, but in an area close to my ward. And they moved here during COVID because they had a remote job. And they were like, this is great, this is a smaller town, this is what we're looking for, it's lower cost of living. They were telling me last week that they were thinking of already moving out of the city because of the issues with the infrastructure from the 26th Street substation. Because they said they'd never had less reliable power. And I did my best to say that this is definitely not what it's been normally. That substation, after they fixed it 8 years ago, has not had those issues until this year, and it's unfortunate. But they're like, but I see the now. And I'm like, I understand you see the now, and that's unfortunate. And I understand you're upset about that. And it's just like people aren't trusting that. I mentioned that at the last meeting. People aren't trusting public power right now. And there's a plan, and it's going to take a few months to get done, and hopefully the power doesn't go out again. But I'm hearing more people with the same issues and same concerns about what's going on with their just general power, and how they expect it to be reliable, and it's not. Last thing I want to bring up. 15 months ago, I had a meeting with the human rights group in the city, the appointed members, and it has been 15 months, and the minutes from that meeting have still not come across the desks of the city commission. It has been 15 months. They have had meetings. That group does not always meet quorum, so they don't always meet, but it's been 15 months. They've had at least 5 meetings, I'd say, minimum, since then. And those minutes have still not made it in front of your desks. That is unacceptable. When some things can be done, hey, we're going to have a meeting 3 hours before a commission meeting to approve, and then bang, we approve it right away. And then other groups would go, well, we can wait over a year when the commission make up changes in that time. That's just not right. So the person who's in charge of that, whether it is the appointed chair of the commission, of that specific commission, the commission liaison, or the city staffer, whoever that is needs to catch up, because other ones from that group have been brought forward, but for some reason the one I was at has not. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the commission at this time? Seeing no one come forth, we are in the next order of business. Public hearing. Sorry, I didn't have my finger on my little microphone here. This is the opportunity for citizens to address the commission on anything. Under the rules of the city commission, each speaker will be allowed 5 minutes to speak. Did I just miss that? Hang on, please. And this public hearing is on the budget. Under the rules of the City Commission, each speaker will be allowed 5 minutes to speak. Commissioner Clements is the timekeeper. Is there a motion to allow public hearing? Commissioner Gerard.
Move to allow for a public hearing on number 1 on millage rates in the city budget for fiscal year 24-25 in total amount of $174,637,463.
Thank you. Is there a second? Commissioner Morris?
Second.
Is there any discussion from anyone in the audience on the budget? Feel free to come to the podium. Seeing no one come forth, the next order of business is, let me get to it, is unfinished business, and we have no unfinished business this evening. So, are back in the regular agenda.
Special orders.
Can you tell that I've missed a meeting? We are in special orders. The clerk will.
Special order item 1, commission as a whole resolution approving the millage rates and city budget for fiscal year 2024-2025 in the total amount of $174,637,463.
Any discussion?
Need a motion.
And I need a motion in a second. Commissioner Gerard.
Well, just do it real quickly. On the millage rates,
I'm sorry, it's not on the floor yet. I need a motion.
I'm looking for discussion. Oh, you need a motion first? All right, so moved.
Commissioner Dockett, we just need one.
Second, thank you.
Thank you. Now, Commissioner Gerard, you.
Sorry, I can't pull them up on my, can you just, the millage rates, have they changed or what the changes from the last year?
No, they're the same.
Okay, just to verify that, thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll on the motion to approve?
Commissioner Burney?
Yes.
Brunner?
Yes.
Hilliker?
Yes.
Gerard?
Yes.
Clements?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Dockett?
Yes.
Rivet?
No.
7 yes, 1 no.
The motion is approved. The next order, Madam Clerk?
From consent, item 5, Jay Sanborn requesting permission to hold the River Rock Fest August 2nd through 3rd, 2024, using Veterans Memorial Park. Recommendation approve.
Is there a motion? Commissioner Hilliker?
Do I need a motion to discuss, or?
Yeah, you need a motion on the floor.
Move to approve.
Commissioner Gerard?
Second.
Commissioner Hilliker?
Thank you. I really pulled this one. I don't have any problems with the event, but I was contacted by an individual who utilizes the park over there, the Play City, I believe it's called. So I was contacted by them, and when we have our events that encompass that area, which if you look in the map that was given to us in the packet, this one would encompass that. It leaves limited access, if no access, to that park. And I just want to make it aware, maybe, you know, I don't really want to delay this because I know he's looking for approval so we can get moving on the things for it. But maybe Jay can look at, you know, ways that he might be able to make that place acceptable or accessible for individuals. So just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
Thank you. Is there any other comments? Seeing the roll on the motion to approve.
Commissioner Brunner?
Yes.
Hilliker?
Yes.
Gerard?
Yes.
Clements?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Dockett?
Yes.
Rivet?
Yes.
Burney?
Yes.
8 yes.
The motion is approved. The next order, please.
From consent, item 7, City Manager recommending memorandum of understanding with the Bay City Police School District, with the Bay City Public School District for 2 liaison law enforcement officers for the 2024-2025 school year in the amount of $254,799. Recommendation approve.
Is there a motion? Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. Move to approve.
Is there a second? Commissioner Gerard?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll on the order to approve?
Commissioner Hilliker?
Yes.
Gerard?
Yes.
Clements?
Abstain.
Morris?
Yes.
Dockett?
Yes.
Rivet?
Yes.
Burney?
Yes.
Brunner?
Yes.
7 yes.
The motion is approved. The next item, please.
From consent, item 9, City Manager recommending adoption of the City Commission goals. Recommendation approve.
Is there a motion? Commissioner Clements?
Move to approve.
Is there a second? Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. Second.
Is there any discussion? Commissioner Rivet?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Am I missing something, or did we have a single meeting less than an hour in November 27th of 2023 to discuss these goals and no further information presented? So, first of all, I think there's a bit of a conflict in a couple of the goals. Secondly, one of the goals I discussed, they set a timeline 3 years from now, or a timeline was set. That was certainly not my intention when I suggested it. But more, importantly, it goes to process, right? If these are city commission goals, we should have had a significant amount of time to vet them. 6 months later, on the consent agenda, which I don't think this meets the actual intent of a consent agenda, we're supposed to simply approve them. I object to some of the ways that my specific suggestions were put in. I have concerns with the fact that 6 months have gone by and there's been no response or any real sort of opportunity for us to comment on these goals. And so, I would move to postpone and take an opportunity to, because frankly, I would scratch one goal because I think it's in conflict with another goal, and you want to scratch my goal, that's fine. But I'm not comfortable with it as presented.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Commissioner Dockett.
Thank you. Through the chair to the commissioner from the second ward, could you elaborate on which two goals are in conflict with one another?
Sure. I think there's a goal to say we want to partner closer with Bay City Bridge Partners, and I talked about how we would have to move forward as a community in the event that Bay City Bridge Partners were not successful 10 years from now, for instance. And so, we would need to clarify that because I think they're competing goals to start with.
Thank you. I think I'm good with postponing at this time as well. We'll get it from there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that a second?
Yeah.
Is that a second? That can be a second. Sure.
We all set? On any discussion? Commissioner Burney?
Yes, I just need a question. Where did the goal package come from? I didn't get one, so I'm just wondering, where did this come from?
It's in your packet.
You'd have to make copies of it.
It's in the agenda packet.
Right. All right, thank you.
So we're all, Commissioner Gerard, do you want to say?
Just real quick to make sure that we're going to bring this back, but we're going to have a meeting about it first, right? Is that the intent from the second ward, that we actually meet and have a discussion on it?
It makes sense, since we're pulling.
Just so we make sure it's clear and there's any questions about the goals, so is that the intent to bring it back? But we'll have a discussion about those goals first. Is that what you're looking for?
I'm happy to provide comments written if that you prefer.
Okay, I'm fine either way. I just think we should discuss them then if we're going to kick it back to staff.
I wasn't at that meeting, but usually in the past, we've had discussion that night. Did that happen this time? Okay, and then there were changes to be made. We changed them, but I would like to set a meeting for this, as long as everyone's okay with this, is taking it off the agenda and moving forward. Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. I think if we just all agree to have the discussion at the next meeting, we're good. Just have it during commission comments and go from there. Cool. Thank you.
Are there any objections? Seeing none? We're okay.
Commissioner Dockett, do you want that on as an action item as well, the next agenda?
I didn't make the motion, but I don't care either way. That's Commissioner Rivet's prerogative.
The next item, please.
Did you, I'm sorry.
From consent, item 10, Commission as a whole resolution allowing special assessment districts to approve and manage donations for sponsorship of events as part of their ability to manage the activities of their respective districts as authorized by the statute. Recommendation approve.
Is there a motion, Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. Move to approve.
Is there a second? Commissioner Gerard?
Second.
Any discussion? Commissioner Burney?
I'd like clarification on that. Is that when they're having, like the fishing tournaments and things like that, what's the clarification on that? I'm not understanding when it says, to manage, donation, sponsorship of events. What does that entail?
I'll let the manager speak to that.
So it would be for events that will benefit the Midland Street area, so they can make donations to events that are held over in that area for them to come up into their district.
Does that have anything to do with the commission or the commissioners, or if it was our ward? Are you talking about like commissioners, us being able to host events and that sort of thing?
No.
Or is it just for a business?
It's for nonprofits that hold events in our community.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Gerard,
Yes.
Clements,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Docket,
Yes.
Rivet,
Yes.
Bernie,
Yes.
Brunner,
Yes.
Hilliker.
Yes.
8 yes.
The motion is approved. And the next item, please.
From consent item 13, Commission as a whole resolution directing the city manager to obtain a legal opinion from Warner Norcross and Judd to determine if the agreement with Bay City Bridge Partners has been breached or violated. Recommendation approve.
Is there a motion? Commissioner Gerard?
Move to approve.
Is there a second? Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. Second.
Any discussion? Commissioner Gerard?
Yeah, real quickly, I drafted this. I see there's another resolution that incorporates some of this. I don't know who submitted this. There was lots of discussion about it. I've heard from constituents that had concerns about the agreement, and so I know Commissioner Burney has brought it up several times, and nothing was being done, so I submitted this resolution so we can kind of put it to rest or to determine what, if anything, has been breached by anybody. So that's why I put this forward. I see there's the resolution, I don't know who drafted it, again, a little more detailed, so I'm not opposed to this other resolution to make amendments to it, but I just kept it simple to have a legal review to make sure that everybody's on the up and up. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Commissioner Rivet? Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Burney had her hand up first.
All right, I'd like to talk about the first resolution that was put in, which was mine. I don't like to be denied what I have written and what I have tried to do for the people. I don't have time for games. I want those lawyers in here. I'm not going to have someone look at me and sit in this chambers and say to me, do I need help with writing what I had already written? I didn't need your help, Gerard. I didn't need your help, Rivet. I wrote this resolution what I wanted to be done. And to go behind me and to help me, I didn't ask for your help. I said I wanted those attorneys in here. I said I wanted to see the contracts. I said I wanted the agreements. I didn't ask you to come behind me. I didn't ask Rivet. I said what I had written. Don't ever step over me and tell me that you wrote it, because I asked what I asked, and I meant it. I want them in here. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gerard?
With all due respect, Commissioner Burney, that's inaccurate.
It's Commissioner Rivet had his hand.
Oh, okay, I'm
and
sorry. I
do
thought you
have
called on me.
here. I do have you on here. Commissioner Rivet?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I provided a substitute that I think addresses some substitute resolution for the current resolution on the floor. I frankly didn't care which commissioner's resolution it replaces, but it attempts to do a couple things. One, further outline some of the provisions of the agreement. B, to some extent recognizes that both parties of the contract have some obligations. And C, sets a limit on just how much money spent on this review, because it's certainly no one's intent to, spend, to keep an attorney's meter running. Let me just say that. And it also identifies where the money comes from, which I believe the commissioner from the 4th had a question with last time. So it's just simply a little more clarification. And so I'm going to move this substitute.
Commissioner Rivet, this is your resolution, right, that you put out tonight? The word bridge is spelled wrong, and I have bride on mine, so I think that it needs to be changed. So can he submit it like this?
Just to be clear, on the floor is Commissioner Gerard's resolution at this time.
Right, I moved
Item
to
13.
substitute it.
So Commissioner Gerard, I apologize, you still had the floor.
Okay, thank you. So just for clarification, I had, before Commissioner Burney drafted a resolution, there was a submission. I followed the rules of the chamber. I was asked to, it was submitted. I changed it from Commissioner Gerard to Commission as a whole. I followed the process. So this had been submitted before any other commissioner had submitted anything about, the review. So just for clarifying on that. So I'm not opposed to making these changes. I think, it clarifies it more, Commissioner Rivet, so I appreciate that. I just wanted to keep it simple, but I do appreciate, so I am accepting these changes from Commissioner Rivet, so I wouldn't have a problem with that.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Dockett.
Thank you. Just for clarification, do we need to read it into the record, or are we good with just saying it's a substitution?
I would need a copy of it for the record.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you had emailed it, correct?
Yeah, you received an email copy of it, plus an updated one where I changed the date and apparently auto-corrected bridge to bride.
All right, I have it.
Yeah. Do we need a second on the motion to amend? Because I will second if we need a motion.
Is there a motion to amend?
I think Commissioner Rivet made the motion. I'm seconding. And then as for comments on that front, I'm good with this. The concern has always been that it has to be done right. I want there to be a process. I want things to be done correctly. This, I think, is the best verbiage of the three. So I think this is the move. I think that's the right way to approach this. So I will support as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion, any objection? Commissioner Burney, you object?
Yes, when I put my resolution in, it was postponed and I was to rewrite it. I postponed it. It went on, supposedly, I don't see it, but it was supposed to go back on the agenda. Well, I don't see it on there, but I see Mr. Gerard. I'm not, going to go through this again. Like I said, I want those attorneys in here. It's the Freedom Act of Information. And, the community, the people can look at those contracts and they can look at the agreements. So I'm going to keep throwing it in every time. And Mr. Brunner said to me, it wouldn't be worth, or we don't have the money to call. It would be costly to call the attorneys back in here. Well, since United Bridges paid us in 2020, I think it was 2019, $5 million. City manager, where's the $5 million?
It wasn't $5 million. At one time. So there's another payment coming, but the money was earmarked by the former commission for streets.
It was $2 million, and then the other $3 million came in. City manager, I'm asking you, what happened to the $5 million? Now, there's another question that's going to come with it. 2.5 is supposed to come in probably in the next few weeks or the month from now or very soon. Can some of that money be used to get those lawyers back in here? So please answer the first. What happened?
Nothing happened.
To the $5 million? Okay, where's it at?
We have it in an account, but it's not $5 million yet. We're still looking for our second payment to come in. and that will come soon, but it's been in an account since we received the check.
Okay, so it doesn't cost that much for attorneys to come in here and to the same attorneys to use some of that money. You know, what's the problem here? Why can't we, if we have the money?
That's not up to me, it's up to the commission, and Commissioner Rivett has it in his resolution to spend some of that money on the attorneys.
My resolution hasn't even finished being looked over, talked about. It's just been, it hasn't even been voted on. But other resolutions has been thrown, 2 of them, in its place. So I'm asking, is that money enough to call in the attorneys that wrote the contract and the agreement, to have them come in here, what I asked in my first resolution? Please answer that
what
question.
money, what dollar figure? The 10,000 that Commissioner Rivett has is...
No, I asked you the $2.5 million, ma'am. The money that we got from United Bridges, there was $5 million. We got $2 million. Obviously, that's what you said. They were supposed to give us $5 million. I'm asking you, out of that, you said we got $2 million. Isn't that enough to have the attorneys come and review that paper, them contracts and agreements? Isn't that enough money to have them come in here and take care of that? I'm asking you that question. Could you please answer?
Sure, it's more than enough.
I would like you to have the attorneys come back in as soon as you can, and when will that be?
Well, after the resolution is approved, then we'll schedule it.
Well, the thing is that I am a commissioner, and I am able to ask you to have paperwork, and I am able to ask you when can you get that done?
I could call tomorrow and get it scheduled. We just have to have the resolution approved to follow through with it. That's...
No, when a commissioner asks you a question, you should be able to answer when.
Commissioner Burney, relax. It's got to be approved by this entire body. Your direction is wonderful, but it means nothing unless this body of 8 right now approves it. So once it's approved tonight by this body, I'm assuming everyone's in agreement, we're going to call the roll in a minute. Once it's approved, then the manager can call, like she said, tomorrow and get the meeting set up. And that's what your request has been all along.
I wanted her to get the contract agreement and to have that copy given to me. I'm not telling, I'm just asking her to have that for me on my desk. That's what I'm asking her.
I don't know she just said that we can do that. So once it's approved tonight, everyone will get a copy
thank you.
of 150 pages. Commissioner Hilliker.
Okay, just a few things I wanted to know. So what I'm hearing is that you both want the same thing, and there's been multiple commissioners on this board who want the same thing, and we have a resolution right now that does that thing. That has been said. Also, if you're looking at the dollars, it tells you how much and where in the resolution that we are now currently looking at that has been amended. It's the very last clause there. So I'm calling the order, or I'm calling the vote. Call the question.
To be clear, this is Commissioner Rivett's resolution as presented to approve. Commissioner Morris.
Yes.
Dockett.
Yes.
Rivett.
Yes.
Burney.
Yes.
Brunner.
Yes.
Hilliker.
Yes.
Gerard.
Yes.
Clements.
Yes.
8 yes votes.
The motion is approved. Is there any other business this evening?
Yes, there is.
All right.
From the regular agenda, item 1, Commissioner Rivett's resolution regarding access to the city manager's office.
there a motion? Commissioner Rivett?
Moved.
And is there a second? Commissioner Burney? Any discussion? Commissioner Rivett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You know, I've continued to suggest that it requires a culture change here in the city administration, city management. I believe that a culture change starts with a approach of being available and open to the people of Bay City. I was disappointed, actually, from my very beginning on the city commission to see a gate and a stop sign in front of the manager's office. And that didn't change for years. And so this resolution does two things. It hammers home the importance of being accessible and available to the citizens, and actually sets some minor parameters so that the manager is available to the people, just like we are, just like every member of this team needs to. And leadership starts from the top. And so I just believe this resolution, although requiring a sledgehammer to start the culture change, is necessary. And finally, one question. Thank you, Madam Mayor, through you to the city manager. How do you think your staff responded to seeing that doorway?
Can you be more specific?
With a red stop sign and a gate in front of it.
I have heard nothing from my staff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. There are some parts of this that I agree with. The baby gate, I think, should come down. I've talked to the city manager about it. Obviously, we talked last meeting about the door. I do think this wades a little bit too far into the weeds, and we start getting into day-to-day operations. So while I support parts of this, I don't support it as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Clements?
Yes, thank you. While I know the gate might not look great, the intent was as a, so somebody just can't walk in. You can't walk right into the superintendent's office of any school district. You can't walk into a state reps or state senate's office. There's a desk, some sort of a barrier. So I know that that's what the intent was. After some people just had barged into that office. So just from a safety standpoint and to prevent disruptions, I can see why the gate was put there, but I know that there's some steps being taken now to put in like a front desk situation there to, make it look better. I think, the gate was a low cost, temporary, temporary, but just rather than going through a bunch of construction and stuff like that. So I understand why it was put up, and, I support that there should be some sort of a line of some sort of a buffer from somebody just walking into the office. I was in Lansing 2 weeks ago, met with several senators and state reps, and you can't just walk into their office. There's a desk there and a person that, asks you what your business is, and I think that's appropriate, and it'd be appropriate for the manager's office. I'll be voting no on this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hilliker?
Though I can appreciate your goal with some of this, this to me is not the way. And there are a few pieces of this that I do agree with, but this does pose safety concerns for me. And not just for the manager, but anybody who works within that office as well. The other thing I want to talk about, if we really want to talk about changing culture of what it is, we also have to talk about us and how we're treating each other here and how we treat our staff. Not just our manager, but our staff, and how we talk with each other and approach issues. you might want to take a sledgehammer to an issue, but when a sledgehammer is used without a clear understanding of why something is in place, or then it can create big holes and gaps and cause a bigger problem than what could or should be. And like I said, I think that your goal here is understandable, but I don't think that it has been approached in a way that with a full kind of a way of a full understanding.
Thank you. Commissioner Rivett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you to the Commissioner from the 5th. I tried in closed session and was gavelled down, ignored. I've tried on 7 occasions. I talked about specific concerns I had, whether it was illegally presenting union contracts for us to approve, or I could go down the list. Each and every time, staff is not accountable for the mistakes they make, mistake after mistake after mistake. So I have, in good faith, tried. In fact, I tried to be as quiet as I could for the first year of my position here. But what I've found is there is no accountability, beginning at the manager's office, and I think the people, at least the many people who encourage me on an ongoing basis to keep doing what I'm doing, keep asking the questions I'm asking, keep fighting for the people, I'm at this stage. So efforts were made. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else? One thing before we call the roll is the manager's office will be done by the end of this month. So her safety is like all the other offices in the city hall will be taken care of. You know, if you go to the light department, you have to push a buzzer to get in. And then you're met by a couple of different assistants to everyone there in that department. The same with downstairs, IT, you have to push a button to get in because that's kind of very important for our city to run. I have been in that office over the years, and I have had angry people come strolling in. And, you know, you had a manager in the office, you had 2 assistants in the office, but it didn't matter. They didn't care. They could care less. So I think we have to keep that in mind, too. You know, I'm in the office a lot, not so much this past year, but I'm in this building a lot, and it does happen more often than not that they have someone who comes in who's very angry. So I just wanted to let you know. Commissioner Burney.
Madam Mayor, the point of the matter is that people should be able to talk to the city manager when we pay for her. The people of Bay City, Michigan, they, you know, they pay for her to be there and to answer their questions. We are the commission. We are in danger every time we leave this building. We're a political body. She is no different than anybody else. Madam Mayor, when you leave this building, you are in danger, every last one of us, to disgruntled people. There is no one better than the other, and we should be like that. I mean, we should think the same way. You know, nobody's better than anybody else. So that's the way it should be treated. I mean, nowadays with the political stuff that's going on, and it's election year, everyone is not safe. You can't protect one and shield one and not shield the others. So that's just not fair, and that's the way I feel on it. Thank you.
But you have to keep in mind that every department has safety features, even in this chamber. And we have law enforcement that's here to protect us. So we're fortunate to have that. Commissioner Brunner?
I'm going to go ahead and call the question.
Thank you. Matt?
Commissioner Dockett?
No.
Rivett?
Yes.
Burney?
Yes.
Brunner?
No.
Hilliker?
No.
Gerard?
No.
Clements?
No.
Morris?
No.
2 yes, 6 no.
The motion has failed, and that is the end.
No, it is not.
Gosh. There's more. Hang on to your hats.
Regular agenda item 2, Commissioner Hilliker's resolution regarding commitment to the city manager's safety.
Commissioner Hilliker,
Move to approve.
is there a second? Commissioner Clements?
Second.
Any discussion? Commissioner Rivett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In my short tenure, and actually prior, I've had at least 3 employees, when I ask them a question about city government, say, do not ask me a question. I'm terrified of the city manager, and there will be retribution if I speak to you. Now, you may not have experienced the same thing, but I know of at least 3, right? And if the city manager wonders why none of her team approached her about their concerns over the gate, is because they're terrified. They're terrified to speak to city commissioners. And if you review the charter and the city commission rules, we have the ability to ask questions. So people I like and respect, I've been in this community my entire life, for all intents and purposes, are afraid to talk to a city commissioner because of the retribution of the city manager. So that's why we have not heard, right? So I am, I can't support a resolution because it enables this behavior, right? It doesn't talk about city employees here. It talks about the city manager. And for some unknown reason, we value the city manager more than we value any other employee. And, been in management 30 years. That's a really bad sign. Usually the leader, the person in front, is the first one to step in front of any issues that employees face. That makes a good leader. That makes a good manager. We're enabling it, right? We vote no on requiring her to actually talk to the people. We vote no on actually having an open door policy. We're going to support a resolution with, and I'm not suggesting that there's a safety concern, right? Everybody needs to be safe. But there's a difference between safe and a behavior that enables a tyrannical, authoritarian, and unforgiving work environment. And we can't even have the conversation about it. So, I can't vote for this because it doesn't talk about the safety of the clerk. It doesn't talk about the safety of the assessors or the building inspection, right? But the worst part, is that we are so enabling bad management. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Hilliker?
So let me tell you about my tenure in my working environment and personal life with an open door policy. In 2018, it was either 18 or 19, the place that I was employed at, we had an open door policy, meaning our door was not locked. And someone came in, we had a volunteer, and beat that person almost dead and left them for dead. They lived, they did eventually live, but that happened. Additionally, I had a relative who they lived in the country, it was up north, and they felt safe enough in their community to have their doors unlocked. Someone came in and murdered him in his sleep because the door was not locked. These things happen all the time. I am not, this has absolutely nothing to do with workplace culture. Not a bit. And I will say, yes, this should actually have said it in here about for all of our staff and employees and all of the offices up here, 100%. They should be allowed to have a locked door. And anybody in the community who wants a meeting with Dana, with any of our people, they just schedule an appointment and they make that. This has nothing to do with that. That is still a policy that we can implement within our city that has absolutely nothing to do with the safety. This reaffirms the ability for the officers, or I'm sorry, the city manager's office to have a locked door. I'm glad that the gate is gone, great, but we should also be able to have a locked door should we need it. And I will also say, if we want to go down the route of saying it isn't an issue, or it just hasn't been yet, the problem is yet, because it could happen. I asked for just a quick number of how many times have we had to have our police department come in this building. That's it. For the year of 2022-23, that budget year, it was 67 times. And that's not all-inclusive. So to put this out as even just a political statement to try to push again, sledgehammer a culture, that's not what this is about. And someone's safety should not be put in line, in the front line for that. That's why I have this resolution. And quite frankly, it was the manager's office because I had heard the other one was coming up. So it was the one that I had in my brain, but it should be for all of our employees.
Thank you. Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. I'd like to move to refer this to staff with the direction of changing it to be all staff and bring it back at the next meeting.
Thank you. That's your amendment?
Well, refer to staff.
I'm sorry. Is there Commissioner Clements?
Yes, I would agree with Commissioner Dockett, but we could make the amendment tonight rather than referring it back to include all staff.
If I may, I looked at the verbiage of it, and it'd be pretty tough to do on the floor.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Commissioner Burney?
Yes, I'd like to talk to Commissioner Hilliker if I can.
You have to talk with Commissioner Clements. You have to talk with Commissioner Clements. He's the
Can I speak with Commissioner Hilliker?
You can,
Commissioner Clements?
you can speak, but she's not obligated to answer anything. I mean,
I just have to come at it like this, Commissioner Hilliker. Everyone has been through safety issues. We all have to live with them day to day. We have to live in this world. But it's come to the part, it's come to everyone's attention. You in city manager, you do your vacations, you do everything together. You ought to be partial. When you sit down in this chamber.
okay, that's out of order. This has nothing to do with the conversation.
When you sit in the chambers, you don't have any friends, you have partners. We sort things out together. This is not a friend thing.
Commissioner Bruner? I'm sorry, Commissioner. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that.
It's not about being friends, it's about us working together for the community. You need to put aside what you and her have outside of this realm. Because it's about the people. It's not about you and her. We all have safety issues when we come to this chambers, but it's just got to stop. It really does. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Commissioner Hilliker?
Yeah, I'll respond to that. So I don't know what you're referring to a vacation or anything outside of. I don't even think we've gotten lunch before. So it is absolutely nothing to do with a friendship situation. Dana is my employee. As a member of a board that we are sitting on, Dana and also all of the other ones here are our employees. It has absolutely nothing to do with friendship. It has to do with we are responsible now if something happens to our people who work for us. We are responsible for that. Do you get that? Because that's what we're talking about here. We are not talking about friendship or doing this for that whatever reason. I think I was pretty clear on that. And if you're talking about the trip where we represented our sister city relationship in Germany, that was doing city work, was not a vacation. That was sister city relationship work.
Does anyone, Commissioner Clements?
Can we call the question on this?
Thank you.
Is there a second on the motion to refer?
See, Commissioner Gerard?
Second.
Any objections to calling the question? We've done that. So, Madam Clerk?
Is there an objection to the motion to refer? Then we'll refer by unanimous consent. No, two more. Regular agenda, item 3, Commissioner Burney's resolution regarding attorney review of Bay City Bridge Partners contract.
Is there a motion? No motion?
No, you guys already passed it.
Okay, and then the final item is Commissioner Burney's resolution regarding Bay Metro.
Is there a motion? Commissioner Burney? Is there a second?
I'm sorry, was that a motion?
Yes, she shook her head. That's good enough. Commissioner Burney, I need you to.
Yes.
Is there a second? Commissioner Rivet?
I'll second for the point of discussion. We don't have the power to eliminate tolling. So I think I'm uncomfortable passing this resolution, but I do think it can be part of the conversation with the attorneys. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Dockett?
Thank you. Just to echo Commissioner Rivet, I think Commissioner Burney's heart is in the right place on this, but it's unfortunately something that we do not have the ability to do. We did try to negotiate tolls for Bay Metro during the initial negotiation process, but we're not able to get that win on our side. So I cannot support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gerard?
Yeah, I just want to concur. I wholeheartedly support something being done about Bay Metro Transit, and I did include that in my resolution several weeks ago that was passed for them to take a look at that, because most of those individuals that are receiving services from Bay Metro would qualify. It's probably cheaper for them if they all had a transponder, probably cost more on the system. So, you know, I would urge them to consider that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Brenner?
No.
Commissioner Hilliker?
No.
Gerard?
No.
Clements?
No.
Morris?
No.
Dockett?
No.
Rivet?
No.
Burney?
Yes.
1 yes, 7 no.
The motion is defeated, and that concludes tonight's meeting for real.